Hello there, it's Tonya, and welcome back to Nurses Speak. This is the channel for nurses, specifically for Black nurses and nurses of color, but open to all nurses. So I just wanted to say it's been a while. We're in June. This is a busy month. Lots of graduations, special events. We've got Father's Day coming up and many things to celebrate this month. But most importantly, celebrate being alive. So I just want to thank all of my viewers and subscribers for sharing this time in this space, because this is your channel where no topic is off limits and where your voice can be heard. So please let us know what your topics of interest are, so that I can ensure that we continue with some relevant content for you, and just kind of continue along a positive stream of information coming forth that's beneficial and uplifting to you and informative, right? So I just wanted to mention something about burnout, because I realized that that's been something that's been a hot topic for many months, throughout the pandemic, and even now in this phase that we're going through, which could be considered post-pandemic. But let's understand that, there's still large numbers of COVID cases and people still being impacted by this condition every day. All right. And burnout is something, if it's not recognized, if it's not addressed, it can be difficult to even manage, because it can manifest in many different ways. And I know there's been a lot of conversation online and in all formats of media about the effects of burnout on a person's physical health, mental health, but there's also the spiritual aspect as well. So we need to look at burnout as a holistic ailment, because that's essentially what it is. It's an ailment. It is not a healthy condition to be in, okay? Because burnout, just by the very nature of the word itself, lets you know that you're nearing the point of extinction, right? The light within you is about to go out. And so what we want to do is recognize it and begin to turn that around, because there is no positive outcome from being in a prolonged state of burnout, okay? And so we need to take a special care of ourselves. And I talked about self-care before, but not necessarily specifically in the context of remedying burnout, right? So let's just go through a couple of things. One, taking care of yourself physically, right? That means eating properly, making sure you're taking in adequate fluids, water being the most important of those fluids. Decreasing your sugar content, because you don't want to further add inflammation through your diet, right? Because one of the side effects or the impacts of burnout, a state of burnout, is that your body is in an inflammatory state. Okay, we need to look at that as well. Fresh fruits and vegetables. If you can obtain organic fruits and vegetables, it would be better. But if you're not able to, making sure that you wash whatever produce you're going to prepare for eating, thoroughly. And, if you have to use frozen, use frozen, okay? No shame on that. You use what you have available, okay? And you want to make sure you include many of those things that have an antioxidating effect, right? So you want your berries, You want your citrus fruits, if you can tolerate citrus. You want your green cruciferous vegetables. You want your red peppers. You want all those things with color, right? Squash, if you can get it, pumpkin. These are all wonderful things, right? Get what's in season. So, depending on where you live, obviously your fresh fruits and vegetables are seasonal. And so you get what you can, what's readily available. All right. For those things that are not readily available, you can get them frozen. I don't really recommend canned things because those tend to have preservatives. They may have sodium added, which you don't want as well. Those are your last resorts, honestly. But anything fresh, primarily, secondarily frozen. And if you gather quantity of fresh fruits and vegetables and you are not able to consume it before it begins to spoil, then what you may want to do is wash it, cut it up, prepare it in a way that it saves time in the future, and just properly, freezer bag it, put it in the freezer, and you have it for future use. Okay, this way you keep up in case you can't even get to the store or you're busy. You have your fruits and vegetables readily available in your own freezer. Okay, because diet is one of the big things that can help you recover from your burnout. Now, the other thing you want to think about aside from diet is getting adequate rest. All right. So if you're a person who gets irregular sleep or not enough sleep, you definitely want to change that behavior as soon as possible, because your body needs to develop a consistent circadian rhythm, right? And having various sleep patterns and sleep times and too short a period of time to sleep and taking random naps is not sustainable, and it's not allowing your body to fully recover from the work of the day. All right. And I just want to advise you, for those who work at night, the human body wasn't really designed to be nocturnal, where you're fully functional throughout the night. And so if you're in a situation where you have to work nights, you definitely want to make sure that you are getting your sleep hours in, because it's very easy to get off work and it's morning and you go to the gym or you go shopping or you stay up and watch TV, you make your meals for the evening, and you find yourself spending many more hours awake than you should, and then squeezing in a little bit of sleep before you go back to work. That's not sustainable, okay? Your body will begin to tell you, hey, enough is enough. We need to find a better way. I can tell you from personal experience, because I've worked nights. I'm not a night person. For a period of time, I worked nights out of necessity to accommodate some, familial issues. But for me, I already know that was not a sustainable option. So I did it for when I needed to, and then, that was that. I had to let that go. And I know how I felt, because I'm not a night person. I know how I felt. And I knew I wasn't getting enough sleep, because I tend to be a person that's much more functional during the day. So I am the person who would go out and do many, many things throughout the day. And, I might not even go lie down until maybe, 5 o'clock in the evening, right? So that doesn't really give you a significant amount of sleep if you have to go back to work at, 11 p.m. or midnight, because it's not the level of sleep that your body needs for a full recovery. So it's kind of risky. Now, there are people who I know who said, yeah, I'm definitely a night person. I have no issue going to sleep when I get home. I just close the blinds, I have my blackout curtains, and I'm good. I could sleep a good portion of the day. If that's you, fine. And if that works for you, great. Just so long as it's regular, okay? And you're getting your 7, 8, or 9 hours. And you might be thinking, 7 to 9 hours, you know, that's a lot. But honestly, that's what your body needs, okay? Rest, regular rest, right? So that's the second thing. The third thing is you want to decrease watching TV. You want to decrease social media. You want to decrease anything that is mentally stimulating, all right? Or anything that draws your attention to something that you have to think about or that is emotionally triggering, right? Limit that. Watch what's necessary, read what's necessary, and then put that to the side. Allow your mind to begin to slow down, wind down, so you can have more time in a relaxed state. Okay? Not hypersensitized to all this stimulus, external stimulus. Okay? Thirdly, is that the third thing? No, the fourth thing. If work is contributing to your burnout, and you already know this, then I would suggest you take some time off from work. All right. And this is critical because you cannot be in the place and in the space that would be the primary source of your burnout in the first place and stay in it and expect to recover from it. It's not going to happen because that environment is not going to change. What needs to change is you. Why should I say who needs to change is you, right? You are the who. The environment you work in is the what and the where, right? So remove yourself from that environment. And if you have vacation time, take it. If you have, a qualifying event for your FMLA, take it. Okay? Push come to shove, if your survival depends on it and you have to quit, okay? Because it's your life we're talking about. This is nothing at all to take lightly. Because at the end of the day, if you go around telling people or anybody, or even, what's going on with you, what symptoms you're having, what you're experiencing, how you're deteriorating, how stressed you are, your blood pressure's up, you're having palpitations, migraines, anxiety attacks, back pain, all kinds of random aches and pains that there's no medical underlying condition for. And it's related to the work that you do. You tell anybody that, they're going to tell you, well, why are you still there? Why don't you leave? And you may come up with several reasons why you're there or why you have chosen not to leave. But again, go a little deeper. Look into what's causing you to put yourself in a state of suffering for a check. Because that's the deeper question. What is it that you are tolerating to make a living? What has you locked in, boxed in, and tied down to something that is harming you? You see, these are questions that you can only answer for yourself. No one can tell you what to do. This is work that you have to do from the inside. It's an inside job. So yes, while burnout is a phenomenon all around the world, many people in healthcare and in other industries are experiencing it. But my audience particularly is those in nursing. So I'm just going to speak to my experience, but also understand that it relates to many others as well. That you cannot look to your employer to solve your issue. They can do what they can with the resources that they can, but ultimately, it's up to you. So whether you decide to walk out, strike, do a sick out, no show, never return at the end of your shift, write up complaints and grievances, and go to your union, these are all things that you can do, but these are not activities or initiatives that will heal you, okay? Because if you are suffering from burnout, you need to be healed. And again, it's from the inside out. So just take a moment, ask yourself, what am I willing to do to allow myself to be healed? What am I willing to let go of to allow myself to be healed? Just ask yourself those simple questions. What will I embrace to allow myself to be healed? And let the answers come from within you. And at some point, the answers will begin to show up all around you and in your life, okay? It may come from your kids or your spouse or significant other or your healthcare provider or a trusted friend or a flyer in the mail, perhaps an email or a social media post. Messages will come from all around you. Why? Because the universe wants you to be well, wants you to be in a holistic state of equilibrium, not suffering, not struggling, not deteriorating, but living and thriving healthfully. Okay? So take some time to take care of yourself, but in a very determined way. Okay? So take in your fluids. Just gonna recap now. Take in your fluids. Eat your fruits. Eat your vegetables. Decrease your stimulus. Decrease your mental stimulus. Get your rest. Okay? Adequate, consistent rest. And remove yourself from the environment that is the cause of your duress, okay? AKA the scene of the crime. So I just gave you a few things to do. You can work on these things, see how you feel, develop a personalized plan for yourself so that you know what works for you and what you need to do. Most importantly, if you need to see your healthcare provider, do that. Go to your doctor, get a physical, get some lab work done. Know your baseline, know what you need to work on, and start from there, okay? The universe is here to help you. All you have to do is make up your mind to be well. So thanks for listening. Again, this is Tonya at Nurses Speak. This is your channel where your voice can be heard and no topic is off limits. So please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time.